and welcome to a socially distant episode of We Only Look Thin. This is Katherine Weigel. No slide whistles today. We Only Look Thin. With me today is Donald Weigel.
Hello! This is Donald Weigel.
We've lost some weight. That's nice, but this isn't the time for that.
Well, we recorded some episodes before all of the COVID-19 stuff went down, and we thought about putting them out, but we decided to record another sort of special episode. It is Sunday, March 22nd, and we're recording this basically the day, I will post this tonight as we're going to sleep. And we thought we would check in with everybody. And I just wanted to start by saying that if you're listening to us for expert advice on
shame on you
on the virus, this is not the forum for that. We certainly don't know what we're talking about in terms of that in any way.
Yeah, and if you're in a situation where you're really struggling right now, maybe listen to an episode of the Brene Brown podcast. Listen to some Mel Robbins, Gretchen Rubin. They've got some sort of soulful, insightful stuff. And this episode is more for like the middle.
Yeah,
the middle people.
Catherine and I are very fortunate. Catherine works from home anyway, and so far her job hasn't been super disrupted.
Aside from having my family bothering me all day.
Yeah. I'm home. Our kid is home. We're all in the apartment together. I'm sort of semi-homeschooling her. She's doing a lot of classes online and stuff.
So folksy.
Yeah, but we are in a pretty good position compared to a lot of people. If you're, struggling for basic needs, you're probably not listening to our podcast. So this is really for people who are basically fine, but are maybe struggling with health and fitness right now. And we've had a giant train tunnel-sized loophole dropped upon us right now.
So lucky.
We did a couple of episodes way back, episodes 11 and 12, where we talked about weight loss loopholes, which are essentially excuses that we tell ourselves to not get our health and fitness together, or to binge eat, to overeat, we really deserve a treat during this troubling time. And, there's a global pandemic going on, I can't possibly exercise. And
that old chestnut.
That old chestnut. So we wanted to kind of address that right now and talk about how to get through this without, putting on, 40, 50, even, 5 pounds if we can.
I could do it if I wanted to. But I think in this time, we could invoke the people who are very familiar with being home a lot. Those under house arrest. Good Samaritans like Lindsay Lohan, Martha Stewart, Paris Hilton, Lil' Kim. Look to them. Look to those sage
like
people.
To use them as examples of what to do in these troubling times.
Well, just imagine which eccentric criminal billionaire would you like to invoke in these times? Because
I'd like to be Lex Luthor. Does it have to be a real person?
No, you could just be a regular villain of your choosing. But
that sounds great.
If we do a crime right now and we're just under house arrest, does it count? Or because we're all under house arrest, then does it not count?
If you're a lawyer, please let us know if this would count under those circumstances. But we've talked about, it must be nice. We had an episode and we talked about things that we used to think about, like, oh boy, if I could just go on Survivor, or if I could just, get eaten by a shark or something, bitten by a shark.
Now's your time.
I would lose weight. But one of the things I used to honestly think was, if I could just be put under house arrest,
oh my gosh,
I could get into shape.
Oh, so
that
much.
I could lose weight. And seriously, if you are essentially under house arrest like we are, this can be a real opportunity.
We actually, I don't know if you know this about us, but David Hasselhoff is very popular in Germany, like more so than in America.
Is that true, or is that just like a thing that people tell us?
No, it's definitely true. And I find that we are also very popular in Germany.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name names.
No, we're
I'm
huge
not dropping
in Germany.
names, but we actually have a couple of listeners in Germany who have talked about how we've improved their lives. You're welcome.
We have as many as two listeners in Germany.
No, but one wonderful listener just told us about how she is not having to do her grueling commute and how that has improved her life.
Yeah, we got an email this very morning. She normally does a 1.5 hour commute, and you've got the time now. If you're somebody who usually commutes and now you're working from home, use your commute time for exercise or for meal prep or whatever. Think about all the things that you've told yourself, if only I had the time to do them, I could really get in shape, or I could really, brush up on my learning how to cook or to meal prep, or, any number of things that you have time now to do.
Well, and also if you're used to getting kids out of the house or struggling in the morning, like we used to have to bribe our daughter out of bed to get ready for school.
Oh my God.
We don't have to do that anymore. Let's look on the sunny side.
Yeah. She basically, even though she sort of has school right now, nothing starts before 10 a.m. for some reason. I guess the teachers don't want to get up and start class early either. So we're not really having to force her out of bed the way that we used to. You can essentially make your own schedule right now, and you can decide when you do things, when they have to get done, and you can use this time to decide that you're going to add extra exercise to your life. You can also really pinpoint when you're going to eat and what you're going to eat. We braved the grocery store 2 days ago, and we had to wait in a line to get in because they were only letting a certain number of people in at a time, but they did actually have food. There wasn't any sort of, worry about them not having anything.
Well, and the problem with going to the grocery store right now, and I know Donald just talked about loopholes, is the FOMO loophole.
Yeah.
And though in the world we are not having a fear of missing out because everybody's at home, there's another FOMO, a lesser known FOMO, fear of missing Oreos.
Yeah.
I literally was in the cookie aisle. I was just walking down. I didn't even know cookies were in that aisle.
I mean, you have to go through the cookie aisle to get to the healthy food aisle, right?
Yeah. And I saw lots and lots of double stuffed Oreos. And I thought to myself, these are the end days. I might as well buy all of the Oreos because who knows if Oreos will even exist in the Mad Max aftermath of all of this.
Yeah.
That's a loophole. Don't buy all the Oreos.
Yeah, trust me, Oreos will outlive all of us for sure.
No, they're shelf stable, like forever. They never go bad.
Yeah, so the point, don't cave into that fear of I will never be able to eat the giant, bag of Pringles again. Although Pringles don't come in a bag, but you know what I'm talking about.
You don't even know your Pringles. Get it right.
Those things will, once we all come through this, those things will still be around. We will still have opportunities to have them. And what I was starting to get to
before I rudely interrupted you with my FOMO joke.
So rude.
We're not doing this episode unless I can make my FOMO joke.
Is that you can make your own eating schedule. If you've ever in your life had an opportunity to decide when you're going to eat and what you're going to eat, it is right now. You've got complete control. You've got nobody, as far as, at least in my life, I've got nobody dictating when I'm going to lunch, when I'm taking breaks, what I'm eating, what is around. Nobody's inviting me to lunch anywhere. There are no surprise cupcakes at work, none of those things. And you also don't really even have to meal prep. I mean, you're at home. All of the food is here. You've got the free time, at least theoretically, to go ahead and just make your meals as you go. And you don't even have to spend that time on the weekend getting food ready for the week. So you really have an opportunity to not only not backslide, but to actually move forward and to seize this as an opportunity to do even better than you would do on your best day.
Well, and two, I think we've done episodes on people who work from home wish they could go into an office because then it would be easier. And people who work in an office just wish they could be home. So all of those must be nices can actually come together right now and benefit you. I am working from home and I'm still working pretty much 100%. And I'm very fortunate to have Donald at home to wrangle our daughter. But being in a position where we can hold one another accountable, and I can even tell Donald, because I've been struggling, he's been doing a great job. Congratulations, Donald.
Thank you.
It's been a little rougher for me, and I've had to be in a position where I tell him, like, I'm having a Snickers bar for dessert. I have 3 Snickers bars. They will last me 3 days. Using that outer accountability, if you have someone else around to, if you do have trouble managing food around you, telling someone else what you're doing, even if you live on your own, finding an accountability buddy to FaceTime with or to email with each day to check in with one another is really important. If you do live with other people and you know you have a friend who is struggling, who's living on their own, check in with them, tell each other that you're going to do a 20-minute virtual walk and talk on the phone. Do something to reach out to someone else to make sure that they're doing okay. And if you're doing great, it's a great time to check in on someone who you know is struggling.
And you can really use this as an opportunity to take extra time exercising too. If you can't do your normal thing, you can't go to the gym right now, you still have, I know we've talked about this before, but you've got YouTube is basically like having paid fitness instructors at your beck and call. We started doing yoga videos together as a family.
Yep, yoga with Adriene.
Yoga with Adriene. And I don't normally even do yoga, but we have the extra time.
Yo, Adriene is also a... Sorry.
Never even thought of that. We talk about Cassie Ho and Blogilates all the time. There's the Fitness Marshal. There's Walking with Leslie. Is it Leslie Sampson?
Yeah.
Or Leslie Sanson. And you've got this opportunity. We have a flight of stairs in our building, and I have taken to upping the number of stairs I do in a day. I've made my minimum 50 times I walk up and down the stairs. It may seem a little boring, but I put an audiobook on or a podcast and I walk up and down the stairs, and it's kind of me time. I don't have to think about anything. It's a, almost like a robotic, just walk up and down the stairs thing. And before I know it, I've got 50 floors.
It totally doesn't creep out our neighbors.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, how you doing? What are you doing there? Well, but I'm working full time, and I have made an effort to get in my 250 steps an hour because it's so easy for me to just sit. I mean, especially with Donald watching our daughter, I can sit at my desk for hours and hours and hours. So I've got to force myself to get up and get that 250 in the house. There are really no excuses if you're at home all the time to not get up every hour and get in some movement. As we know, the couch is lava. Chairs are lava. So lava is also lava still. Like, it hasn't taken that away.
Yeah, and we're not being chased by lava, so that is a good thing. The miracle product of the rebounder also, you can still get one of these things from Amazon. It may take a little longer to show up than normal.
They're so good.
But it's so amazing. It has really literally changed our lives. It is a little mini trampoline that we keep inside the apartment, and we're able to get our steps in. We just sort of bounce on it like, mimicking walking. We still get steps. It's a very good workout for the legs. It gets my heart rate up. And we can binge Netflix or, Amazon Prime, whatever, Hulu while we're doing it. And it really sort of kills two birds with one stone there. The entertainment value of being able to binge the shows that I've always wished I had time to binge while still getting my exercise in.
Yeah, it actually makes me think of, we see movies that show this kind of thing, but I think it's great how Linda Hamilton got totally yoked because she was in isolation.
Right.
That's we always we saw that movie and we were like, man, must be nice to get yoked.
If only I could be held against my will in a psychiatric ward because I was talking about Terminators from the future coming in. If only that could happen.
Yeah, no. But she was yoked. Can we not agree that she was yoked?
No, she was definitely yoked.
Was
and
yoked.
You know what? We could all come out of this yoked. Like, imagine if at the end of all of this, life goes back to normal and everybody's like, holy cow, you look
Everybody's
amazing.
yoked. Like,
Yeah.
whoa, grandma.
Not everybody, just the people listening to our show.
Like, our daughter is not super physically active. She admires our fitspiration, but she is not a fit enthusiast. She's slender, which is nice for her, but this is a time where we have to institute family walks, and Donald is doing push-ups with her. And
like I've sort of become her de facto PE teacher, her PE teacher. And for those of you who are my age or older who might not know, PE is what they call these days gym class, which is what they called it when I was in school.
I think they called it both things when I was growing up.
I think it was just gym class when I was in school, physical education, PE. And I've sort of become her PE teacher sent home this list of exercises that she's supposed to do every day. And so I've been doing them with her. So not only have I been doing my normal exercise, but I've also been doing her exercises with her, which are, she does a couple of 30-second planks and some push-ups, and we've been making her do some aerobic activity every day. And then we've been going on family walks outside, which is something you can still do as long as you keep distance from people passing you on the street. At least that's what the governor has been saying. You can still go outside and take a walk around your neighborhood. If you're a runner, you can still run around your neighborhood, etc. And you can still get exercise in that way. And it's a good opportunity. I feel like I'm bonding with our kid, being able to do her gym class exercises with her.
Yeah, there's also, you can look online, kid exercise videos. I know that there's a kid yoga video or two out there. You can find things, like Google it. We just should have started with Google it. There's information out there on how to get in fitness inside. It is totally possible. There's also for parents out there. And again, we know that we are in a privileged position, being a couple and being able to tag team kid activities. But there's a podcast I love called One Bad Mother. It has some swears, many swears, actually. It's basically just a list of swear words.
I do not condone the swears.
But episode 346 of One Bad Mother is a genius spectacular covering what moms and dads are doing to manage their kids and wrangle them during COVID. So it's kind of a lighthearted episode, but a lot of great ideas on hour by hour keeping your kids busy and occupied during this unsettling time. Our daughter is a little, she's an introvert, but she definitely still misses her friends too. So figuring out ways to do FaceTime with people and chat, I think, is important. We don't have all the answers, but you already knew that. So, and everybody is coping with this in their own way. There are people who deal with this with comedy and some who are more serious. And I think it's just sort of an amplification of our normal personalities. Like when you're drunk, if you're a fun person, you continue to be fun. And if you're a serious person,
if you're like me, you continue to be more nerdy.
But there's no right way to manage it. And being offended by someone who posts funny memes about it. It's just everyone has their own coping mechanism. And I know we can be defensive about it if, we're all in different severity levels of this. So there's no one right way to manage your emotions about it.
And the one thing I just really wanted to touch on, I think Catherine has some more things to say, but the last thing I really wanted to get into is don't use food as your coping mechanism. We have a tendency to tell ourselves, that we deserve to eat these treats. Don't use this time. Don't use being shut up inside as an excuse to just overeat all the time and eat all the junk food.
Well, but also the other way, this isn't Little House on the Prairie. You don't have to pound your own, flour to make your own bread. Like, I took a cooking class 20 years ago or so, and we learned how to make scones and biscuits and other bread goods. This is no surprise. I love bread. Love it, love it, love it. I was making scones every day.
Yeah.
And Donald was like, no, I'm fine. I ate all of them over and over and over again, day after day. And that helped me on my way to double the weight that I am right now. And if you're using this time to Little House on the Prairie it and make everything from scratch for your family, that's super. But there is a big consequence to suddenly being like Betty Crocker in all of this, because I know for me, I eat what I make. And I think being able to spread it out a little bit, be a little bit indulgent is okay. But we have to deal with the consequences of all of that from scratch goodness, because I could totally bake right now, but I would eat it all because guess what? I'm in the house.
Yeah.
It's not a time to like use baking healthy quote unquote from scratch food for your kids as a loophole in all of this. If you can't control yourself, and I can't control myself, so.
And a lot of us are very anxious about the future right now, maybe all of us. And we've got fears about our health and safety and security for the future. And I just don't want I don't want myself to use food indulgence as, use those worries and fears about the future to indulge now, because it's this horrible catch-22. You're worried about your health and your safety for the future, so you're going to sabotage yourself right now by eating all of the things that you shouldn't be indulging in, that you shouldn't be overindulging in, and you may come out of this, much heavier. You may be digging that hole, and then life goes back to normal, and suddenly you realize that you are in a much worse place than you were when it all started.
So, I'm glad that you brought that up, Donald, because I would like to end this with a tale of two lords.
Oh. Sounds so fancy.
So imperial margarine. Oh, yeah. Correction corner. It was margarine all along. It was never a butter.
Oh, not imperial butter?
No, it's imperial margarine.
Imperial margarine.
So I'm going to talk about some lords right now.
I can't wait.
So there's two lords that I'd like to bring up. Lord of the Flies versus Lord of the Dance.
Oh, two of my favorite lords.
Yes. There are many other lords.
I thought you were going with Lord of the Rings.
Lord and Taylor.
Lord and Taylor,
Lord, the delightful young singer from from New Zealand. No, yeah, New Zealand, I think. So we're not talking about singers.
No,
we're talking about Lord of the Flies, Lord of the Dance.
That's right.
So you may recall, if you were ever in English class, Lord of the Flies. Some kids get stranded on a delightful island. Must be nice.
Yeah.
Great weight loss activity. You may recall it did not go well for my guys.
No.
They escalated quickly into madness and division and rank and...
basically became feral animals and did horrible things to each other.
Yeah. Kind of like laser tag parties.
Sure, laser tag parties.
No, we had a laser tag. Okay, I'm going to get off. We had a laser tag event at a team building exercise at my company, and it ended with someone in the hospital because they were shot.
I've heard this story before.
It was actually
Catherine describes it like she was in Fallujah during the war.
Gosh.
Yeah,
it was actually paintball, and someone hit someone else in the temple at close range, and they ended up in the emergency room. That was not a classy event for my company, not a classy time. But in Lord of the Flies...
So you're saying don't turn your house arrest, your home quarantine into a crazy paintball event.
This isn't... But I'm making it more about the food you eat.
Yeah.
Don't Lord of the Flies the food that you eat. Because if you recall, at the end of Lord of the Flies, the grown-ups show up with the bow and are like, hey, kids, how's it going? We're here to get you. And the kids are stabbing each other. And it was not a good look for my guys. And I am asking you, do not make this event a Lord of the Flies thing where suddenly it's over in a week and you have not... really respected your body, respected Oreos.
Yeah. You end up looking like Grizzly Adams with an extra 20, 30 pounds, and then all of a sudden life is back to normal, and you're like,
oh, this did not go well for me.
Now what do I do?
Lord of the Dance kept it classy. That's a Lord that I can get behind. Synchronized movements, practice, and high step dancing. Let's go out. I know it's a loose, you get what you pay for on this episode, but Lord of the Dance, classy. Lord of the Flies,
you can
not.
also, there are probably YouTube videos that will teach you how to do Lord of the Dance, and it'd be great exercise.
It would, but I am trying to focus on keeping my normal habits together right now. not giving in to loopholes, expecting maybe a little bit less of myself with a little bit of the stress that's going on. Like, we're not saying we're perfect parents. There's been some extra screen time.
Oh, no.
But like, let's keep this all classy. Like, we're in week 2 of this event. This is not the Lord of the Flies time. This is a time to keep your cool, get used to the new normal for now, educate yourself, disconnect yourself a little bit from some drama, focus on what you can control, which is what happens
already
in your
inside
house.
a hole that you need to climb out of, don't dig that hole deeper so that it's even harder to climb out of, I think is what we're saying here.
Exactly. So we're gonna keep it a little bit shorter today. Let us know how you're doing. Reach out to us on email or social media.
Yeah, we are definitely around to answer emails, answer Facebook requests, all those things. Thank you so much for listening. If you're listening to us right now, we really, really appreciate it. Either you are a special kind of person who is really interested in their health and fitness, or you're just so bored that you're scraping the bottom of the barrel listening to We Only Look Thin right now.
No, and look, we don't have all the answers. We're just two normal folk just trying to get along. But, I'm really proud of Donald for keeping his habits in place in the last week. He's helped me kind of keep some structure too. So reach out to people who you care about. Hold one another accountable.
I know it's going to sound like bragging, and it kind of is, but I actually lost a pound this past week.
And I found it.
Whoa!
Wait, that wasn't a very good snare.
Choo-choo.
Here, put in some sound effects in there.
No.
All right. Well, we're not going to end with a zany slide whistle inspiration thing. We just hope everyone is safe. And
if you do want to email us, though, it's weonlylookthin@gmail.com. You can also contact us through our website, weonlylookthin.com, and you can contact us on social media at weonlylookthin, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all those things.
Yeah. So good luck getting through the week. We're here for you. You're here for us. And over and out.
The information that you hear on this podcast is for informational purposes only. The hosts are not medical professionals. You should always consult with your doctor, nurse, or other certified health professional before beginning any diet or fitness program.